Nice. Talk about some good airflow. Oh man, look at all the storage.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool. So you got your HVAC system down here and your and your inverter and everything.
Pop off.
So what? How many watts is your inverter?
2,000.
Okay, yeah, you'll be able to you'll be able to push anything. Oh, and then, is that your hot water heater underneath here?
That's my 30-gallon water tank. This is the hot water heater right here.
Okay.
Furnace.
Okay.
Water pumps back there.
What now? When your furnace goes, I've heard some of the furnaces. Is that a diesel heater? Is that what that is?
It's a propane furnace.
Oh, it's a propane. Oh, okay, nice. Because the diesel one has a tendency to click.
Yeah. Nope,
so
it doesn't.
propane doesn't. Oh, it's not. And then it's kind of cool. It's like double decker.
Exactly. Hello.
How many watts of solar do you have on top?
200 right now.
Uh huh.
I can go up to 400 with the setup. I just didn't think I needed more yet.
Yeah, I rock 200 right now, and that's more than enough for me. It's amazing how, like, you know, if you're in full sun, like 200 watts, 7 hours, that's 1,400 watts of power. Like, that's a big battery bank.
And then this might be locked. It's locked.
Yeah.
Just exterior storage for like tools, and the air compressor and all that stuff is in there.
So you got everything figured out on this truck.
Mostly.
Yeah, this is awesome.
It's the benefit of it being my second van too. The first one I learned all the things that I did and didn't want.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that, like what the motivation was to get. I mean, I figured you probably wanted a new slate, like to just like a brand new canvas to start with, because the Vandango was awesome, but.
Well, it was just a matter. I reached the point where I definitely wanted to be able to stand up. So I was at the point where either, and I didn't want to do any more of the build without the roof. So either take it and get the high roof put on and then build it out, or just sell it and then start putting money into something from scratch.
Yeah.
And my dream has always been to have this type of build, like an ambulance conversion type box build. So if I was going to spend the money and the time on something, I wanted to be what I wanted.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Here we go.
Well, and that's, I mean, and if you're gonna be full-time in it, you know, you, as long as you're fully comfortable and everything, then that's when you're most productive.
Exactly.
But if like you're constantly fiddling with stuff.
Yep. Or if you're not comfortable and you don't want to be out that long.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing with me, like my setup's so tight is that, you know, there's times where I'm like, it's a bitch to work in there.
Yeah.
Especially if there's bad weather out and stuff like that, and Sierra's being grumpy or whatever, which is rarely ever, but it happens.
Yep, and then up top, because all of that is structurally sound for walking and hanging out on, so I'm going to put some artificial turf up there.
Oh, hell yeah. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great. So we'll hang out up on top of the roof here sometime soon.
That's going to be great. Rooftop deck. That's sweet.
Yep.
And then for the suspension, it was, you did the 4x4 conversion kit, and what was the company in Denver?
Timberline.
Timberline 4x4? Okay. Well, they did a great job. Nice wheels too. I like those a lot.
Thanks.
Those are cool.
We went in our first mud on the way here yesterday.
Yeah. What are those, 33s? 35s? 33s. Looks like 33s to me. Yeah, and that's a good, it sits up a lot higher than I thought. I mean, like the suspension in here is solid.
Big girl, Brian.
Yes, yes, she is.
Yeah, when I pass semis on the road, I'm like, we like look at each other.
I can't wait to see what you like, just like all the adventures you have in it and stuff.
And then I have plans to completely decal the outside. I just waiting to find an artist that I feel drawn to. That'll be some type of just black and white line art that depicts the mountains and desert and stuff where I hang out. And then the back, I'll put some sort of, you know, identifier for me, how to find my like social and Timberline, and then Josh's company. You know, that'll be on the back of the van. So
that's awesome. Cool. This is so dope. I've been so excited to see this. All the pictures online. I'm like, can't wait to hang out. So is this now? What's this right here?
Oh, that's just a quick connect for the propane.
Oh,
So I
okay.
can pick up a stove or a fireplace or anything.
Okay.
You know, like if you wanted to run off my propane, you could just connect in there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. So I can just fill it from here.
So you
Which
got
is
you got 12
awesome.
gallons. That's a lot. That's nice. Cool.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and so you'll see, I wish, and that's the other thing about taking it to Josh today, like, I wish it was more planned because I still need to get the galley box hung, and like there's other stuff we would have planned to do it all,
Oh yeah.
but
It's just kind of an yeah.
it is what it is.
Well, the good news is though, is like you were saying, you can still charge your battery off when you're running your vehicle.
Yeah.
So you're not totally dead in the water.
No,
That's the one
yeah.
thing. That's one thing that like a lot of people have asked me about solar. I'm like, make sure you got a backup way to charge, because you get in rainy season for 2 weeks, you're toast.
When I called him last night, he said, well, what do you have in your fridge in case it dies tonight? Is there anything that's going to perish? And I was like, well, I do have bacon. So he's like,
eat it all now. That's funny.
still going though. I mean, I was like on 3% charge last night when I got here, and everything's still running. So.
Is it? I might imagine you probably have a pretty big bank. Do you know how many amp hours you have with your battery set up?
240, I think.
Wow, that's great. See, I only rock 101, and I never get close to emptying my batteries. So you'll be good to
Well,
go.
and that's what's crazy because last time I looked.
I'll get it in front.
Oh, thanks. Might have been fun to watch me keep trying.
You're almost there, Tisha. Keep going.
Just stretch a little more. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. It was like at, I don't know, 190 amp hours or something last time I looked, and so I was like, oh. And then I looked and it was like 1.8 last night.
Oh, you're like, whoops.
Yeah.
Something's not working right.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's definitely wrong.
Well, that's good. The good thing about electrical stuff is it's pretty straightforward, so be able to find where the problem is and get rocking. Well, so after that, where are you off to next?
Let's see, Sunday. Not Sunday. After this, I was gonna do a few days in the San Juans, just to be back up there where it's cooler, and then back in Montrose for a few days. Do you know Emily Taylor from California?
I know. We're connected on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's coming out to do like a 2-week trip for her 40th. So
Oh,
we're
cool.
gonna meet up and do some rambling, and then Mikkel and her girls are coming out. So same thing, just on a couple. For me, it's more, my schedule looks more like there's people on it, and then we're gonna explore as opposed to places. So
Oh, I see.
yeah, so meet up with Brian, meet up with Mikkel, meet up with Emily, and then mid-July I have a white rim permit for Canyonlands, so I'll go drive Canyonlands, which is, are you familiar with it?
Yeah. Is it that one that's like 90 miles?
It's right at 100 miles.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yep. So I've driven it before when we mountain biked it as a group 2 years ago, and then I ended up, and we had a support driver, and then my neck, I couldn't get on the bike, so we switched and I drove. So I've driven it before in like somebody else's vehicle, but that'll definitely be the first like, big drive.
That'd be cool. You should document that and throw it online. I'd love to see how everything performs and what your experience was. Because that's like a couple days, right? Like you do it over like 3 or 4 days.
We're gonna do it in 2 days.
2 days?
This time. Yeah. So when we're mountain biking and other stuff, then we did it like in 4, but we're just driving.
Oh, okay.
So there's one camp spot in particular that's like the best, and it's right in the middle. So whenever I can get that one, that's usually my goal. So that's
Cool.
the plan. So we'll just split into, yeah. So it'll be like there's 10-ish miles on each end that is just dirt road, and then basically right at 80 miles of off-road driving.
Yeah, when I was out in Moab like a couple of years ago, and I ran into somebody who had just got done doing that, and it was like more in the spring as opposed to the summer, but he was like, man, it's incredible. Like the scenery back in there. He was saying it's amazing.
It is amazing, and there's just so few people because since it's so highly permitted, and yeah, I love it back in there. I definitely have, you know, some, I don't know about anxiety, but I'm highly aware of like it's not. It'll be challenging in spots for me because it's the big thing is there's some steep switchbacks, and as you can imagine, her turn radius leaves something to be desired.
I would imagine, yeah.
And we're so wide, and so just passing people is stressful because if there's times, and there will be, where we come up on each other and I'm the one that has to like back up and get out of the way. It's very difficult.
Do you have a backup cam on this?
Not yet. I'm waiting to get one installed. It is extremely difficult to back this puppy up.
I can imagine, and you're not familiar with the dimensions yet. It's like, it's not like old hat.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, like I've backed my truck into so many different things. It's like I know when to stop backing up now.
Yep. Yep. So we're not there yet. We don't know each other that intimately quite yet. So it's going to be it'll be stressful at times, but well worth it, and it'll be a good test. Bumper with an aluminous as well with the swing arms like I used to have, but they don't make one for this model basically, so we'll have to see if there's some kind of modifications. But other than that, and then at some point I might mount fiberglass nose back on the front, so to try to help fuel economy.
Oh yeah.
I just don't think it's gonna look. It looks very cool.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So
yeah, you can find some. Maybe find some cool decals that would make it look, you know, halfway decent. So. Well, this is killer. I mean, the thing about this is it's no problem full timing. I mean, no problem. You live in this, easy peasy. Cool. Well, next time you see my truck, I'll have upgrades too. Because this is such a cool rig.
Thanks.
I can't wait to see, like I said, I can't wait to see all the adventures you get in it.